worked so hard, man. I'm gonna keep working hard.
729 Rockwell.
In a heartbreaking report from the Chicago Tribune, we learned that more than 100 people were shot within the first 10 days of 2016 alone.
January 1st, the city is averaging a shooting every 3 hours.
This past Monday, the headlines blared 13 dead over the Labor Day weekend.
Dozens shot, 13 dead, in a city experiencing historic levels of violence.
4,500 Americans were killed in Iraq. This many in Afghanistan. More have been killed in Chicago since 2001 than in both wars combined.
We need to first and foremost, let's support the public school systems in Chicago.
NBC News spent the holiday weekend tracking the violence on the streets with police and found an image that says it all. Don't shoot. Kids at play.
Growing up in Chicago, man, you either want to play ball or rap. Now, very few make it out. And when we say make it out, it's making it out alive rather than successful. Now, we all can't share the same dream, and we all have different God-given talents. We as a people, we just have to be enlightened more. In the midst of the increasing gun violence in our dangerous, crime-riddled streets of Chicago this summer, our hometown native and our emerging pro sports leader of Chicago, Jabari Parker, continues his calling to make a positive impact in the lives of others. Upon answering other calls from popular media outlets arriving on the south side of Chicago to cover the epidemic of violence and the effect on our communities, Jabari cooperated willingly. He participated with other NBA players from Chicago, while also appearing on ESPN First Take Special Edition with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman.
You recently wrote a very powerful piece in the Players Tribune, including your personal experience growing up in this community. You titled it Chicago. I want to read an excerpt of it right now to share with everybody. It's hard to be optimistic and hopeful that things will change in Chicago, but I am. I have to be, because if I don't have that attitude, then the kids there won't believe that things can get better. But things are going to get better. It is going to change if we step up and help our city. And I'm here to help. I'm not going to be folklore. Jabari, what's the message that you have for former and current athletes when it comes to social activism?
Speaking of my own experience, I've been able to be involved with my role models. One specifically, Juwan Howard, used to host camps for us, Chicago public school kids in the summertime to go to, and it was free. And he was an all-star during the time, very known. And me being in his presence made it a reality that, hey, I can leave, I can come back, I can be on top of the world, but I can still care about my community, my environment. So I'm here today and trying to walk in his own footsteps, and hopefully other players and my colleagues that have been in Chicago can do the same.
But above that important conversation, Jabari Parker is a young man whose positive actions speak volumes, exercising his wisdom well beyond his 21 years. Jabari understands his moral obligation to maximize the use of his voice and embrace the white light of publicity that follows him. In addition to the important conversation, Jabari went well above and beyond what his professional duty requires as he shared his vision in a first-person 3,000-word article in the Players Tribune. And above and beyond his impactful article, Jabari called upon community leaders, former coaches, friends, and his family Parker to participate in a gathering for peace which he announced on Twitter merely 8 hours before the gathering. He called upon his Chicago native NBA brethren to participate in his Pick Up for Peace event, which he held at Quest Multisport. The event included singing, poetry presentation, and community engagement with internationally recognized Chicago rap artists. There was no grand promotion, no great fanfare, no self-serving antics whatsoever. Just our emerging transcendent pro sports leader from the south side of Chicago.
Cameron Smith, and welcome to the BMO Harris Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome to the Chicago Theater in downtown Chicago. Cameron Smith, and welcome to Wrigley Field. Reporting from Quest Multisport after the Jabari Parker Pick Up for Peace event. Now to kick the night off, Jabari had his local Chicago AAU team, the Chicago Select,
face off against another local Chicago AAU team, get buckets in a very competitive scrimmage. Now, Parker met with both teams before the tip and let the players know that they are role models and that their peers respect them. Parker also let the players know that, hey, they should make good choices on the court and off the court and not disrespect themselves or the game. Let's take a quick look. Well, that's a great way to start the night. Now, as the Chicago pros hit the court, you had to ask yourself, is this really going to take place as NBA champion Shannon Brown and NBA veteran Will Bynum started to warm up with Jabari? And on the opposite side, you had another NBA champion in Sean Marion and NBA defensive specialist Patrick Beverly small talking with some spectators on the sideline. Let's take a look at how tonight panned out. We just witnessed what great leadership and teamwork can accomplish. Now, Jabari once again showed more insight into his transcendent talents to direct his resources by engaging in societal activities to ensure multilateral benefits. Pick Up for Peace was created for Chicago to impact the city in a positive way. I'm Cameron Smith, and this was a Quest production. Until next time. Give kids options and to give them something constructive to do. So, again, I'm from the same streets that a lot of these kids are from, on the west side of Chicago, south side of Chicago, spent time of my life there, growing up with my cousins and my grandparents. It's really the same. There's poverty, there's gangs, there's drugs, there's violence. But you see a lot of kids, especially in the summertime, just standing on the corners, hanging out until whatever hour it is in the morning. But if you give them some positive outlooks in terms of words of encouragement or inspiration, and give them something constructive to do, whether it's a job or these kids having mentors, male mentors, black male mentors, to have someone to look up to, have someone as an example to show them what they can do with their lives if they are fully focused and not afraid to be different from their friends.